Welcome, everyone, to the space at Westbury in Westbury, Long Island, New York, for a special night of championship boxing. I'm Rich Quinones, and joined with my broadcast partners for this evening, Nick Garone and Cara Castronova. We've got a great main event. It's slated for 10 rounds for the USBO welterweight title. Tommy the Razor Rainone taking on Carl McNichols. And Cara, I turn to you for a moment. Tommy Rainone, a very unique, feisty, gritty, and he's got some great style in the ring.
He has a very interesting style. He's unorthodox. He is crafty. He likes to make guys miss. And the question tonight is he going to make McNichols miss and then pay for his mistakes?
Well, if McNichols does that, it'll certainly be an upset, Nick.
It sure will. And McNichols wants to play spoiler tonight, Rich. He wants to come in here. He wants to make a name for himself. And when I spoke to him earlier, he's got upset on his mind.
It always makes for an interesting main event. Don't forget, on the card this evening, Amanda Serrano, the current WBO champ, will take on Carla Torres, who's also looking for an upset as we get set for our first bout of the evening.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the space at Westbury, we are set to go with our next bout of the evening. 8 rounds of boxing scheduled in the middleweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, he wears blue and red. He weighed in at 157 1/2 pounds. His professional record, 20 victories, 6 defeats. He has 1 draw and 13 wins coming by way of knockout. De la capital de Bogotá, Colombia. Damas y caballeros, presentando José Miguel Bam Bam Rodrigo Berrio. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner. He wears green with gold trim. He weighed in at already 156 1/4 pounds. His professional record, thus far perfect. 19 victories, no defeats. He has 1 draw. He has 7 wins coming by way of knockout. From Brisbane, Australia, ladies and gentlemen, Hurricane Dennis Hogan.
Slated for 8 rounds, middleweights, Dennis Hogan, 19-0-1, his first bout outside Australia. In the green trunks, taking on Jose Miguel Rodriguez Barrero, 26-1 from Bogota, Colombia, 13 knockouts in the blue and red trunks. And again, this one's slated for 8 rounds, and there's a lot of fanfare around Hogan, nicknamed the Hurricane, 19-0-1 with 7 knockouts. His only draw came in his 3rd pro fight versus debuting Edmund Emeria back in 2001. He's fresh off a split decision win over Steve Moxon for the vacant WBA Oceania light middleweight title in July. So again, a lot of people look at those belts. They don't really put a lot of stock into it, but I do believe a belt is a belt. It gives you momentum to go to where you want to be and ultimately give you that momentum to close out a year. The kid's a very good boxer.
You know what, and like you said, Rich, that gives you confidence winning a belt. You know, even if it's not a major title, it gives you that confidence going into the next fight. And not only that, but you know what, as you go and you progress as a pro, you have an opportunity to, by having those belts, to fight for bigger belts.
Yeah, kind of like the Commonwealth belt in Europe. I mean, it holds cachet. There's prestige to go with that. But I think, you know, the one interesting thing is this is his first fight in the States. So, you know, maybe there's an adjustment period there, and you're taking on a well-traveled, not journeyman fighter to some extent, but a fighter who's had 26, 27 pro fights, and he's dropped 5 of 6, 6 of 9, but he's going to fight.
And, you know, out of those 6 losses, he's lost to guys that were real deal guys. Charles Whitaker, you know, lost a unanimous decision to him. Bronco McCart, you know, unanimous decision to him. He wasn't getting stopped by these guys. So, you know, and he got TKO'd late by Joey Hernandez, another very, very tough fighter, legitimate guy. So out of those 6 losses, 3 of them were to top-notch opponents.
See how he handles it. He just got stung right there by Hogan right away. And another right. Hogan again. Straight right. Already you can see Rodriguez flinching that eye. He's hurt. Hogan muscles him and manhandles him up against the ropes under a minute to go in this opening round number 1. So good round for Dennis Hogan.
Notice how Rodriguez reacts different than somebody younger and not as experienced.
39 years of it, the 39-year-old with those legs in there. You're going against a fighter who's 29.
Yeah, but the way he reacted, he dealt with it, and he kind of got in there and got away from the punches and handled himself with composure and poise, which some guys panic.
Yep. Under 20 to go. Good right, sweeping overhead right by Hogan. Rodriguez, born in Colombia, resides in Caracas, Venezuela. Tough Latin fighter. He'll take some punches. Hogan doubled up on that left jab as we close in on one in the books. Good round for Dennis Hogan. First fight outside his adopted homeland of Australia. Second-ranked light middleweight in Australia behind Anthony Mundine, who just actually fought. So, when you look at middleweights, light middleweights, most of them, the top 10 or so, reside in the U.S. Charlo, Austin Trout, Orlando Lara, James Kirkland. This kid's definitely a promising rising star, and he let his hands go in round number 1 there.
Here it goes. That overhand right kind of staggered him. But, once again, Rodriguez comes back. He kind of weathers the storm. He tries his own little, quick little overhand right. But as he reacts, he got pushed back. But as he reacts perfectly to get through the round, weather that storm. And Hogan doesn't get overly aggressive, doesn't come out of position where he can open himself up to big things.
And the one thing about Rodriguez that you would make a note of, because he turned pro in 1997, so there's 17 years, not a lot of activity for 17 years, 18 straight wins, as you mentioned, before he lost to Ignacio Solar. Fought several world title caliber opponents, Marco Antonio Rubio for the WBC Latino title back in 2009, Daniel Jacobs, who we just saw had a brilliant win, WBA world middleweight title against Rod Fletcher in August, courtesy of that 5th round TKO. But for Rodriguez, you just wonder, okay, not a lot of the fights are sporadic. 26, 27 fights in 16, 17 years. Now, again, a lot of the fighters from the Central and Latin America, South America, a lot of the fights really, some of them really are not recorded, so to speak, to go on record. So you don't know if he's had some amateur record. You don't know if he's had some fights as well overseas. But ultimately, what I look for is a guy who's 39 right now, not a lot of activity, and he's come in dropping 5 of 6 and 6 of 9. So he might be right for the pick in here for Hogan.
No doubt. It's unbelievable. From 1997 to 2004, okay, Rodriguez was 21-0.
It tells you all you need to know.
Fought for the NABO title, loses, and then takes a 3-year layoff.
Yeah. And a lot of times, some of these guys, you never know. Family, responsibilities, part-time fighter, sometimes management issues, contract issues, promotional issues, can't get a fight. It all goes hand in hand, but he's in there tonight with a really hot prospect that a lot of people want to see fight more in the States.
We've heard a lot of good things about Hogan, and Hogan's a gritty guy. He's a guy that could get in there and bang with you. He could also box a little bit, and he's a very talented boxer.
And he catches Rodriguez, doubled up with a left and an uppercut, has Rodriguez in trouble and stunned in round number 2. Gash under the left eye of Rodriguez, squinting a little bit. Best defense right now is to start using that jab to negate the movement of Hogan coming forward. Under a minute to go in this second round slated for 8.
I had a chance to speak to Dennis Hogan. Dennis Hogan, he loves counterpunching. He loves having a guy throw a good punch at him and coming back with 2-3 right after that. And you know what? This is a really good test for him also. A cagey veteran, somebody that's going to give him some problems in different situations, going to give him some different looks. So, Hogan is right in the mix here, and he's doing a great job so far after almost 2 rounds. Good counterpuncher.
Under 10. Early stages of this 8th round affair between Dennis Hogan and Jose Bam Bam Miguel Rodriguez.
Are you driving anonymously? I'm Jeff Chudoff, owner and creative director of Arizona Designs. With one of our custom wraps, our design team will bring your idea to life. Then you'll be advertising your company 24 hours a day, whether you're driving or not. The end result is a memorable advertisement message that allows you to stand out from the competition in any industry. Our vehicle wraps are vibrant and durable and will capture 80,000 impressions a week. Whether your vehicle is leased or purchased, the protective wrap is removable before you change vehicles. Usually, we can design, print, and install your wrap in under a week. So call us at 800-600-1412 to set up the next step in growing your business.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Space at Westbury. 2 in the books as we get set for round number 3 between Dennis Hogan and Jose Rodriguez. Hogan in the green trunks, Rodriguez in the blue and red trunks. Fighting out of Colombia, resides in Caracas, Venezuela. 2 strong rounds by Hogan, already dishing out some punishment.
You're looking at not only 2 very solid pros, but you're also looking at 2 guys that had very, very good amateur records. You know, Rodriguez 97-6. You know, Dennis Hogan 125-5. You know, guys that have been around and they're, you know, you could tell the way they hold themselves in the ring and the way they fight. I mean, they're true professionals. Ooh, nice right hand by Hogan.
Straight right that caught Rodriguez, has him flush up against the ropes. See if they're broken apart. They're still latching on. Rodriguez lets go. See if there's a point deduction there. And Rodriguez will be deducted 1 point for holding. So if you look at it right now, 20-18 in favor of Hogan. Now all of a sudden you can treat that as a 10-8 round, because that's exactly, if Hogan wins this round, it'll be a 10-8 round unless you see some type of onslaught by Rodriguez. In that case, you can argue 9-8, but right now, point deducted for holding. And I can see where he got it,
nice
too.
Right hand.
He was
nice
hooking,
right hand.
Yeah, he was hooking that right arm, and he's got to watch, because again, it can warrant another point deduction, which would be a DQ, a disqualification.
You know, I actually, when he took the point away, I was kind of a little upset that he did that, and then I just saw that time. Oh,
yeah,
nice,
he got
backed
caught
him up
with a
with a
straight
right hand.
Yeah, Rodriguez in trouble right now, round number 3. Good combination by Hogan, going downstairs, comes back upstairs, then a good right uppercut. Now he's got to watch, though. There's that arm is hooked again, and Rodriguez has that arm hooked, which is actually preventing him from getting any punches off.
You know, and I think that's what he's doing. He's almost baiting the referee to actually.
Referee's got to do a job. He's got to do a better job right here and step in, break them apart.
You know, Ortega, he's got to get in there and he's got to take charge of this. But he's a very, very seasoned referee. He's been around for a long time, and he always does a fantastic job. I think Rodriguez is legitimately hurt, and I think he's trying to get through this round.
That could be the case. Another point deducted. Well, if this happens one more time, there's certainly going to be a DQ. That's 2 points now deducted in this 3rd round, and you have to ask yourself, with that being said, does Rodriguez want to continue to fight?
Well,
is he going to make it a fight, or is he going to pull this nonsense the rest of the way? Hogan obliges with a good right, and then the left, and down goes Rodriguez. His knee was down. That should be ruled a knockdown.
You know what? I don't think Ortega saw it, but you know what? It's almost sometimes these guys, you know, like Rodriguez, sometimes they are looking for a way out. They don't want to say they got knocked out. They don't want to say they got stopped. So they'll hold on. They'll give the points up, and they'll get disqualified.
Well, it looked like a knockdown from here.
I mean, if by the rules, Rich, it was a knockdown. But I think Ortega was out of position. He was on the other side, and I don't think he saw the knee touch. And it was a quick touch by Rodriguez. I'm sorry.
So 3 in the books. Again, this is slated for 8 as we take a look at Rodriguez's corner. 2 point deducted from him in round number 3, and you do have to wonder if the commitment is just not there. If he just doesn't want to get up. Well, they're trying to buy a little more time.
Very odd, the little tactics here so early in the fight.
You can't get away with that in New York. This is referee discretion now, too, so just... You hate to see an ugly fight like this. And it's got to be frustrating for Hogan, too. As we mentioned, first fight outside his homeland. Good body shot against Rodriguez.
Nice shot over the top. And, you know, I don't think this is going to last very long, either disqualification or Hogan just catching him with something clean.
Well, he's ahead unofficially on all 3 scorecards. That was an ugly round number 3 that saw a questionable, I thought it was a knockdown because the knee hit the canvas.
It would have been a 10-7.
But this is exactly the nonsense you don't want. And that's it. Like I said, it was just a matter of time. But listen, there's a difference between fighting and pulling that nonsense, and it's just nonsense. And you realize that Rodriguez decided he didn't want to fight anymore. That's ultimately it. He just did not want to fight anymore. And I think it was a matter of time before the referee stepped in. I would have liked to saw him impose his will a little more earlier on that fight. It was ugly, and you just don't want to make it an ugly scrap like that. So Dennis Hogan's going to get the win and improve to 20-0-1. And Jose Miguel Rodriguez Barrera will fall to 21-7. And it's unfortunate because you really can't gauge what Hogan brings to the table as we take a look at some of the action in an ugly fight.
Really, really disheartening here. You know, he gets hit with that overhand right. Hogan hurts him bad, goes back to the body, jabbing him, and really looking for that. And you know what? Rodriguez right here, he feels the end is near. He's here against the ropes. He just doesn't want to get stopped, doesn't want to get hurt. And you hate to win like this for Hogan, but you know what? And I'm usually the first person in the world to say, hey, don't stop a fight over something like that to a referee. But you know what? I'm actually happy he did that because it was not fair to Hogan who came to fight tonight.
All right, we'll make this one official. We'll go inside the ring to David Diamante.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Michael Ortega calls a halt to this contest. The official time of the stoppage, 51 seconds of round number 4. Your winner by disqualification, Hurricane Dennis Hogan.
So it goes down as a DQ in the record books, but alas, as we alluded to, Nick, Hogan walks away with the win, and we saw some good things there. I mean, obviously, he was able to kind of impose his will against a fighter who, quite frankly, made the trip from Caracas, Venezuela, and really didn't put too much of it in a fight. I thought at 21-6, he was going to fight a little more, show a little more heart, a little more grit, but he's dropped 6 of 9, and he realized the only tactic, the only route to go was to hold, to clinch.
I mean, really, where do you go from here, Rich? I mean,
he's
really,
39 years of age.
Rodriguez should.
Yeah, he's 39 years of age.
Should hang him up after this.
You know, as we said, very sporadic for 17 years of fighting in his career. But it was Dennis Hogan. Dennis Hogan, who has a nice little following here in Long Island, and the crowd appreciated the effort, albeit it was ugly, and it lasted only 4 rounds. And it was ruled a DQ, but Hogan gets the win, his 20th of his career, first on U.S. soil. More boxing to come right after this.
Hi, this is Amanda for Westbury Jeep Chrysler Dodge Ram. Here's another amazing Westbury deal of the month. Get the new Ram 1500 at the exclusive VIP price. Our dealership is the home of America's #1 VIP Plus program. Exclusive to Westbury, it comes with every vehicle we sell. It includes lifetime oil and filter changes, lifetime loaner cars, lifetime New York State inspections, 24/7 rescue and towing, plus much more. Remember, at Westbury Jeep Chrysler Dodge Ram, we will satisfy you. After this video, log on to westburydeals.com for more great specials.
Are you a man over 40 and feeling tired, losing muscle, have less romantic drive? Then call now for the Ageless Male free testosterone giveaway. For the first time ever, not just 100 or 1,000, but every man who calls in the next few minutes will receive a free 30-day supply of Ageless Male. Ageless Male has ingredients clinically shown to support free testosterone levels, and that supports muscle health, promotes romantic drive, and supports energy metabolism. Even though we've sold over 800,000 bottles of our original formula, you can try the all-new Ageless Male for free just by shipping and handling. Support muscle, promote romantic drive, support energy. And it all starts with this amazing offer, the Ageless Male free testosterone giveaway. Your free 30-day supply is waiting for you. Call now.
Don't delay. This is a limited time offer. Call 1-800-856-0689. Secure your free bottle today. That's 1-800-856-0689. 1-800-856-0689.
Welcome back, everyone, to the space at Westbury as we get set for a great female bout. First things first, for the introductions, we'll go inside the ring to our ring announcer, David Diamante.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, 6 rounds of boxing scheduled in the junior lightweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, she wears the red, silver, and blue. She weighed in at 129.5 pounds. Her professional record, 4 victories against 2 defeats. From Cleveland, Ohio, ladies and gentlemen, she is the reigning, defending WIBA World Featherweight Champion, Carla Star Torres. And her opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner. She wears black with white trim. She weighed in at a ready and even 130 pounds. Her professional record, an excellent one. 21 victories, only 1 defeat. She has 1 draw and 16 wins coming by way of knockout. From the beautiful borough of Brooklyn, New York, she is the reigning, defending UBF featherweight champion and the reigning, defending WBO lightweight champion of the world, Amanda, the real deal, Serrano.
All right, fighters, you're giving instructions in the dressing room. Respect the rules, respect the sport, and most of all, ladies, respect each other. Touch gloves, come out, fighting at the bell.
Well, this one is slated for 6, and they're 2-minute rounds, and there's a little feistiness in there right now. Amanda Serrano taking on Carla Torres. Serrano in the black trunks, Torres in the red, blue, and white trunks. And again, this is slated for 6 rounds. Serrano, the reigning WBO champ, and Torres pulling off the upset against Ronica Jeffrey to win the WIBA belt. And right off the bat, Nick, they start to let their hands go early on.
This is the one I've been waiting for all night, Rich. Let me tell you something, this should be an unbelievable fight. 4-2, throw that out the window. Carla Torres is a stud. She's gonna come out there and try to take what she wants. She's hungry, she's after it. But then again, Amanda Serrano, she's one of those special fighters. She's been around the block. She's a 3-Division 3-time world champion. So she's a tough customer, and she's one of the most world-renowned boxers in the ladies division.
Yeah, and the one thing about Amanda Serrano, she tries to end the fight early on. We've seen it throughout the course of her career, pressing the action right now, trying to end this one against Torres. In round 1, Torres is defenseless. She's not fighting back. Serrano can smell a win. She's pressing it. She's throwing massive combinations, and Torres not throwing. They might step in round number 1, and they do. Oh my goodness!
She didn't throw back. She didn't throw back. I don't think she was overly hurt. She was bloodied, but I think she was overwhelmed by Amanda Serrano. Serrano is a beast. She comes after her, and she ends it, and she knew she was in trouble. Rich, she knew she was in trouble, and she took advantage of that.
Amanda Serrano is a fighter that will break your will and spirit, and you can see her corner now getting into a little verbal jab and war with the corner of Carla Torres. It's going to go down as a TKO, a major win for Amanda Serrano against a 6-fight veteran in Torres, who's coming off an impressive win. But right there, she's not fighting back at all, Nick.
I mean, look at this. She knows she's got her a little hurt. She cut her, and then she goes after her. She does not relent. She comes after her because she knows how to finish. There's a difference between being a finisher and not being a finisher, and Amanda Serrano is just that. That's why she's a 3-time world champion, Rich.
And listen, when she defeated Kimberly Connor in 2011, she became the first female IBF super featherweight champ. And I would argue there's not a better female fighter in the country, and you can argue in the world, especially in that division, super featherweight division, even though also second-ranked lightweight in the world, only behind top-rated Delphine Farsoun of Belgium. But she is absolutely a wrecking ball, the 5'5" southpaw, nicknamed the Real Deal, and she was the real deal this evening against Torres.
Very impressive.
She just came out like gangbusters, and that's the track record. That's what she does. That's her MO. She tries to break you down early on, and the only loss of his career was against Frida Wilberg, but she gets the win to improve to 22-1-1 with another knockout. Let's make it official as we take a breath. We'll go inside the ring to our ring announcer, David Diamante.
Ladies and gentlemen, the end comes at 59 seconds of the very first round. Your winner by TKO from Brooklyn, New York, Amanda "The Real Deal" Serrano.
So Amanda Serrano improves to 22-1-1. 17 knockouts in her career. Carla Torres, we mentioned she was coming off a big win against Ronica Jeffrey in May. Kind of exposed Jeffrey. Torres took a 2-year layoff. It's her 7th pro fight. She was going up against a firestorm in Amanda Serrano, and I'm not saying Carla Torres quit. She didn't. She just had she had no answers. She had absolutely no answers for Amanda Serrano. Absolutely no answers whatsoever. And again, you look at Amanda Serrano, WIBA UBO champ, WBO world female lightweight champ. When she defeated Kimberly Connor in 2011, she became the first female IBF super featherweight champ, and you can put her up there with arguably the top 5 fighters, not in the US, but in the world, and she's only 26 years of age. Was she the real deal this evening? Yeah, she certainly was. We'll step aside, more boxing to come right after this.
Hi, this is Amanda for Westbury Jeep Chrysler Dodge Ram. Here's another amazing Westbury deal of the month. Get the new Ram 1500 at the exclusive VIP price. Our dealership is the home of America's #1 VIP Plus program. Exclusive to Westbury, it comes with every vehicle we sell. It includes lifetime oil and filter changes, lifetime loaner cars, lifetime New York State inspections, 24/7 rescue and towing, plus much more. Remember, at Westbury Jeep Chrysler Dodge Ram, we will satisfy you. After this video, log on to westburydeals.com for more great specials.
Welcome back, everyone, to the space at Westbury as we are set for Miller, and it'll be Ray. Now let's go inside the ring to our ring announcer, David Diamante.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are set to go with our next bout of the evening, and it's all being brought to you courtesy of Greg Cohen Promotions and David Schuster's Winner Take All Productions in association with Dimitri Salidas, star of David Boxing Promotions. Your 3 judges scoring this contest ringside: Kevin Morgan, Matt Ruggiero, and Waleska Rodan. At the sound of the bell, your 3rd man in the ring, Tony Charentano. And now, ladies and gentlemen, 6 rounds of boxing scheduled in the heavyweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, he wears the black with silver trim. He weighed in at an even 212 pounds. His professional record: 5 victories against 7 defeats. He has 1 draw and 2 wins coming by way of knockout. From Paris, Tennessee, ladies and gentlemen, Rodrika Ray. And his opponent across the ring fighting out of the red corner. He wears black and silver. He weighed in at a ready 262 1/4 pounds. His professional record, 9 victories, no defeats. He has 1 draw, all 9 of his wins coming by way of knockout. From Brooklyn and Queens, New York, he's billed as the future American heavyweight champion, a.k.a. the Black Spartan. Ladies and gentlemen, Jarrell Big Baby Miller.
Gentlemen, we went over the rules in the dressing room. I want a good, clean fight. Protect yourselves at all times. Obey my commands at all times. Touch them up. Good luck.
This one slated for 6 in the heavyweight division. Do not blink. Jarrell Big Baby Miller, a hot prospect in the heavyweight division. 9-0-1 with 9 knockouts. Taking on Rodrigo Ray. Ray in the black trunks with the white trim. 5-7-1 with 2 knockouts out of Paris, Tennessee. And Nick, I know you had a chance to speak to Ray at the weigh-in. Pretty confident young man.
You know, what went from an ordinary fight for Jarrell Miller went into some kind of, it was like almost like a big-time fight because of what Rodrigo was saying at the weigh-in. He said, hey, if I fought the opponents that Miller fought, I would be 9-0 too. He also said he was antagonizing Miller by saying, hey, listen, you know, he hasn't fought guys like me before. I fought guys that were undefeated, 9-1, 11-0, 3-0, 4-0, 19-9, legitimate guys. I have a chance here, so let's see if he can back it up in the ring.
You know what he also said? He said, if I said, you know, Jarrell Miller, he spars with Vladimir Klitschko, and he said, well, I'm sure Vladimir beats him up. And he said, make sure you tell Jarrell I said that.
Well, listen, I mean, I love the fact that a fighter can kind of hype up a fight, but bottom line is Rodrigo Ray has dropped 4 of 7. He's coming off a 5th-round TKO loss against Rezan Kojon. Right, don't let the record fool you. He's fought some good fighters, Devin Vargas, Alex Guerrero, a tough cruiserweight. He's getting ready to take on Anthony Ferrante for the NABA title regional belt next week in Delaware. But you're going against Big Baby, and Big Baby punches, as Kara alluded to earlier on the broadcast, just nasty, downright illegal, bad intentions. And 9 knockouts in 10 pro fights. He fought Joey DeWecho, a very tough prospect out of Philadelphia. That was a draw because he was deducted 2 points. So for Rodrigo Ray to try to get in Miller's head, good for him. Is he going to try to get in his head and then counter that with some boxing? I don't know. He better be careful because Miller catches him with 1 punch. It's good night.
And listen, and the only draw, even with those points deducted with the draw, Joey DeWecho was 7-1-1.
He's
a
very
legitimate
good
guy.
He's a good prospect. Yes, he is. Miller's the type of fighter where, I mean, listen, you're a heavyweight, you're a young kid. As you get older, power's the last to go. It's only going to get stronger, and he can clock you with a right. I've seen him fight a couple times up close and personal, called a couple of his bouts, and when he hits you with that one straight right, that's it. There's no counter.
Big Baby, he's going after his 10th knockout. And let me tell you, I'll tell you, yesterday when I spoke to him, he gave the impression that he was just a seasoned pro, real relaxed, ready to go to business, ready to go to work today.
A lot of that probably has to do with the fact he was a kickboxer. He's had a lot of professional kickboxing fights. He went pro when he was 19.
Big bombs being thrown by Big Baby.
So he's got a couple different disciplines, turned pro back in 2009. But again, look at the record. John Hill, Joshua Harris, Sylvester Barron. He dismantled Harris inside of 2 rounds in May.
And sparring, you know, you got to say, sparring with Vladimir Klitschko got to season you a lot, not just a little bit.
Or it might make you retire.
You know what? He said he thinks he could beat Vladimir, and I think he really meant it. He said, you know, obviously it's very difficult to decipher and figure out a style like the Klitschko brothers, but once you got their number and you're sparring with them for 7 training camps, as Jarrell Miller was, then he said, then you start to understand their rhythm and get their number. So he would love to fight one of them. He might not be at that level by the time Klitschko retires, but if he was, he thinks that he would beat him. He's very confident.
But you know, sparring, and Carrie, you know this. You've been in the ring sparring, and then when it comes to crush down under the lights, it's a big difference. So love his confidence, but
Right.
really, let's take our time. Let's get through Rodrigue and Ray tonight and get to that next level. But definitely good first round for Miller.
Yeah, Miller's got the pedigree as well as an amateur too. Golden Gloves finalist, good AMI record. Yeah, kickboxer, as Kara mentioned, in the U.S. 22-2, so he's got a couple areas of discipline. Slated for 6. Ray against Miller. Miller comes in, as we alluded to, 9-0-1 with 9 knockouts, and Rodrigo Ray already looking at the referee for some assistance.
50-pound weight difference, I think. Rodrigo was about 210. Jarrell Miller
good
about
left.
260.
Every time Miller throws a punch, you feel it. You feel it. I mean, outside the ring, you feel it. You feel
Well,
that.
he does a couple good things for a prospect who's a heavyweight. You rarely see heavyweights, A, use the jab, and B, throw combinations. He does that, and we just saw he goes to the body, so he's well-rounded.
Well, you do see heavyweights do that, but the good ones do
Sure,
that.
world
You know,
class.
yeah,
World class, not a prospect.
Absolutely, absolutely, Rich. You hit a great point.
I mean, when
And
I
that's-
see a heavyweight throw a jab, I'm in heaven. I'm like, wow, look at this, a jab and a combination.
And that gives you that kind of gives you the idea that this guy, you know, he's got some potential. He knows what he's doing out there, because really, when it comes down to it, heavyweights, you need to keep guys off you with that jab. That jab is your protection.
Yeah. Well, he just stunned Ray right there in round number 2, and then he misses with an uppercut. Miller
Nice.
trying to go for the knockdown in round number 2, and he stunned Ray again. Another straight right, has him flush, pushed up against the ropes.
You know, Ray was a regional Golden Gloves champ as well. So, you know, he's got a little bit of pedigree, and he said he's in great shape. He's trained hard for this, and, you know, he's ready for this opportunity.
Well, he got off the ropes,
Fighting
make it back
back.
in the center. Yeah, absolutely, make it back center of the ring. And do you get the feeling, Kara, that Miller is trying to line him up for that knockout punch?
I think he's looking for the knockout, but not too hard. He doesn't really have much to worry about with Rodrigo Ray, so he's kind of taking it easy and just waiting for the knockout to come.
That's a great point, because you're never going to get it when you're looking for it, but your opponent can leave you in.
As we saw with Martinez earlier.
Yes,
When
open
you
up
look
the
for
door for
knockout, I mean, if you don't look for the knockout, it just comes.
Yes, and it's produced 9 in his 10 pro bout career, under 25 to go, and round number 2 again slated for 6. Ray is 30 years of age, Miller 26. Great crowd this evening at the Space at Westbury. Looks like it's a sold-out venue, and the beauty is they've got that, almost the anticipation is in the air, where they're either trying to will Jarrell Big Baby Miller into a KO win, or you just feel like there's kind of this, all right, when are we going to see the fireworks?
Silence before the storm.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. We mentioned one blemish, not even a blemish, the draw on Miller's record against Joey DeWetchko, because of the point deducted. We'll talk a little more about that as we take a look at the action in round 2.
Here he's lining them up. He's basically measuring them and comes back, but you know what? Rico Ray came back with a couple of nice shots himself, but that's a nice straight right, back to the body, and a nice comeback over the top of that left hook, and he comes up with an uppercut. You know, he's very, very well schooled, and his technical ability, his trainers do a great job with Jarrell Miller.
And the only reason I bring up the DeWetchko fight, because of the 2 points deducted for pushing, he would have won 39-37 on all 3 judges' scorecards. My point is this: Rodrigo Ray, a veteran, 13-fight veteran, maybe he wants to try to make it an ugly fight and test Miller a little bit. And I'm not saying make it a dirty fight. Take it to the line, see what he can do, and frustrate him a little bit. Take him out of his game.
Well, I think that's what his best game plan would be, exactly. You can't go toe-to-toe with Miller.
No.
You're not going to outbox Miller. You
No.
got to find unconventional ways to try to win a fight like this if you're Rodrigo Ray.
Yep. Ray again with the black trunks, silver trim. Miller with the tapered trunks. Slated for 6. Early stages, round number 3. Miller going to the body, good uppercut, catches Ray. Ray comes back with a counter left, 2 jabs in a row. Ooh, good left again by Miller.
Ooh, nice overhand right.
Yeah, Ray was pretty ambitious on that one. Good combination by
To put
Miller.
it lightly.
Oh,
nice
good uppercut by Miller.
Let me tell you, Miller hit that beautiful uppercut.
Not as clean because Ray was kind of leaning forward, but that was a brilliant punch, a scoring blow. Backs up Ray. Good straight jab.
Nice little right.
Miller just walking down Ray.
Oh, nice 1-2, 1-2. Up top, down low for Miller. You know, you gotta like Miller's, experience too. I mean, he's 15-1 as an amateur. He's 22-2 as a boxer. He was like you said earlier, Rich. He was ranked number 1 in the country in kickboxing, and he's also fought in K1 and Glory. Giving me all this background, so he has that comfortability. He has the ability that if things aren't going his way in the ring, he could change his game plan.
Oh, good right, and he just caught Ray with a straight right. Oh, not an uppercut. Had him up against the ropes. Ray is in trouble. He's leaning over, not knocked out just yet.
He's going to go down soon.
Good straight right by Big Baby. Catches Ray again with under 25 to go.
Oh.
Setting up for that uppercut again, trying to end this one in round number 3. Ray can only hold on. Late stages in this 3rd round, slated for 6.
I asked Ray, what was his most... Oh, nice. He wants to end this with 10 seconds left.
Good action. Good
that's when you get hurt, when you open yourself up. But let me tell you, I asked Rodrigo Ray, I said, listen, after that fight, I said, what's your most impressive win as a pro? He said, all of them. Every time I win, it's impressive.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see if the corner takes a look at Rodrigo Ray.
I don't think he should come back out, though. He should. That round, about 10 more seconds on that round, then he would have been down.
And you know what saved him too, Kara, is the fact that he's throwing back just enough to let the fight continue as we look at the onslaught here by Miller.
He's out of it.
I mean, look at these combinations. 1, 2 uppercuts. I mean, he's coming after. Miller wanted to end this fight in that round. He wanted to end the fight in the 2nd round. Here he is. Watch this flurry by Miller. 1, 2, body, up top, back and forth. I mean, just hitting him with big, hard shots, Rich.
Yeah, that first flurry set up the 2nd flurry, and you saw Ray go back to his corner. His legs are still not under him. Look at him right now.
It's like he's asking for it. He keeps sticking his head in there.
Yeah, he looks like a shot fighter. Miller can end this one in round number 4 if he just works the issue, works the body a little more. But Ray does look like he's a shot fighter. And go to your point, Kara, what you want to think about too now is fighter safety.
No, it is important. And, he got hit with about 3 really hard flush uppercuts, and it was because he's putting his head in there, and he's asking for them at this point. He's tired.
And he's being walked down in the ring. Miller this is where no fighter against Miller wants to be, and that's up against the ropes.
Miller moves too like a lightweight. He's very agile. He throws a lot of punches, and he's definitely got a lot of talent. And I think he's got so many different disciplines. We spoke about different disciplines, how important that is in different sports. He's got those disciplines in those different K1 and Glory events. So I mean, Miller is definitely a great prospect.
Yeah, and he's just leading Ray right now around the ropes in the ring, connected on 3 straight rights. That scored under 2 to go in this 4th round, slated for 6. See if Ray can make it out of the 4th after that late flurry and onslaught by Miller, looking for his 10th KO victim in his early career. Miller certainly measuring up his shots. Just snaps that left, yeah.
Nice little double up jab. We were on the same wavelength. You know, I don't care how good a shape you are. When you get in there in a live situation and you have somebody coming after you, you're going to go through those periods where you're going to feel winded, you're going to feel tired. It's how you react to that feeling is what makes you a better fighter. It's how you deal with that pressure and how you give the pressure back is what gets you to that next level.
Unfortunately, it's one-sided right now because Rodrigo Rey has nothing on his punches. He's being bullied. He's being chopped down. Even the right he just threw.
Nice left.
Even the right he just threw. Well, now he's got Miller momentarily in trouble, but Miller shook his head. I just don't think there's enough on those punches.
I mean, he's trying, but there is not a lot on those punches.
I mean, it's great for TV and the crowd gets into it, but they're not punches that are hurting Miller.
No, he definitely stung him a little bit, but definitely didn't hurt him.
Again, he's got to let his hands go just to let Miller know he's there, and to respect his punching power, you have to counter. You have to throw. Final 10, fourth round. Rey still remains on his feet.
Unbelievably so.
4 in the books here at the Space at Westbury in Westbury, Long Island, New York. We'll come back. More action to come right after this.
Hi, this is Amanda for Westbury Jeep Chrysler Dodge Ram. Here's another amazing Westbury deal of the month. Get the new Ram 1500 at the exclusive VIP price. Our dealership is the home of America's #1 VIP Plus program. Exclusive to Westbury, it comes with every vehicle we sell. It includes lifetime oil and filter changes, lifetime loaner cars, lifetime New York State inspections, 24/7 rescue and towing, plus much more. Remember, at Westbury Jeep Chrysler Dodge Ram, we will satisfy you. After this video, log on to westburydeals.com for more great specials.
Welcome back, everyone, inside the Space at Westbury. We return to live action. Round number 5 between Jarrell Big Baby Miller having his way against Rodrigo Rey in the black trunks, white trim. Big Baby 9-0-1, 9 knockouts, stunned Rey in the third, in the fourth. Tried to end it midway through the fourth. Rey, to his credit, countered with a couple shots. Didn't do much harm against Miller. Looks like Rey still has his legs are a little wobbly.
Wasting a lot of energy. A big guy moving that much, and, you know, he's just eating up a lot of his energy.
Nice
yeah,
little
because
snap. Got that nice snap jab working for Miller.
A lot of times expending more energy throwing and missing than throwing and landing. I mean, I like to see Miller just, again, use the left, use the jab, set him up, work the body a little bit, and just chop him down. Get out of here with a win. Easier said than done. That's why I'm down here.
Come on, Rich.
You know, Miller's got to be, I didn't mean to cut you off. Miller's got to be careful when he shoots that left out. It's not even a jab. It's almost like a backhanded, it almost looks like a backhanded slap. Yeah. Maybe it's just the way he's positioning himself.
Shot by Miller.
See that, how he just snaps it back out there? Like the back end of his glove?
But you know what? I like it because it does keep him at bay, and he's
well, as long as it's a legal shot.
Yeah.
I tell her, Miller, he's a feisty fighter.
He came here to win. He really, I mean, when I spoke to him yesterday, he was very confident. I mean, he definitely didn't come here to get a paycheck. And that's very obvious in the way that he's fighting. He's taking a lot of punishment and coming back for more.
Yeah, speaking of Rey, hanging in there. Good body shot by Miller. Pushes Rey momentarily up against the ropes. Under a minute to go, round number 5. Rey tries to counter with a left of his own. Good left by Miller.
I'm wondering if Miller is thinking to himself, is he going to knock I mean, Ray seems to be not invincible, but he's not going down.
No.
And, you know, Jarrell Miller, he's 9-0 with 9 knockouts.
Good right by Miller, catches Ray. Well, we mentioned Ray's dropped 4 of 7, but not fighting as if he's a 5-7-1 fighter. Give him credit, made the trip from Paris, Tennessee, so he's come to fight, hanging in there.
You know, once again, he's used to being in situations like this, 9-1, 11-0, 3-0. He's fought guys that are very capable.
And I think when you really look at it, Miller is a fighter who all of his fights have ended within 3 rounds, 5 in the second, 2 in the first round. So with that being said, this is the test. All right, I have a guy I can knock out. He's taken me where I've never went before, and that's in the 6th round.
You know what? I was waiting for you to say that, because I was thinking the same thing during that round. I said, this is actually a good thing for Miller. He's gone out there, he's knocked out all these guys. You know what? As a fighter, as a trainer, as a manager, promoter, you want your guys to get to be an 8-round fighter. You got to go 6 rounds.
Yeah, it's a good test for him, and see if he tries to close out the bout with a knockout. I think he knows he's ahead on the scorecards. It's just a matter of, all right, hey, am I going to be able to break this guy's will? Not really. Am I going to have to box and earn this one? Yeah, it's a hard-fought. It would, if it turns out, plays out the way it is, a hard-fought win on his resume, but test it a little bit.
You know, a lot of times prospects like a Miller, it's not necessarily from the neck down physically, it's from the neck up. And you have to be able to get through those 6 rounds, be able to map out a 6-round, 8-round fight, and that's how you truly tell if you got somebody that can get to that next level.
Yeah, and Ray, to his credit, as Kara mentioned, fighting forward. He's taken a lot of punches. He's eaten a lot of leather, but he's fighting forward.
This is going to be the first fight that Jarrell doesn't knock someone out, which I think is going to be a little strange for him, because he came into this fight very confident that he was going to knock out Miller tonight.
That's an interesting point, because as a fighter, now you're thinking to yourself, I thought it was going to get easier.
Maybe I didn't have as much power as I thought. Or maybe Miller just has an incredible jaw. Or he could just take a lot of punishment.
Nice left hook by Miller.
Yeah, Ray has shown that he's definitely a tough fighter. Not a fighter that is so-called filling out the card, rounding out the card. He's a club-level fighter. We mentioned he's fought some tough guys. Will take the fight. Give him a lot of credit for stepping in the ring against really one of the hot heavyweight prospects in the country.
Right, and this is a good test for Jarrell Miller's conditioning as well, because he's fighting to the last round, and normally he's used to knocking guys out and having an easy night.
Yeah, styles make fights, and I don't think Ray's really given him that opportunity for that knockout punch. He's taken a lot, but he's really not setting himself up, leaving himself wide open for Miller to really end it.
There's only a minute and 10 left in this round. I don't think the knockout's going to happen. If it didn't happen already, unless Jarrell really puts the pressure on Rodrigo Ray.
6th and final round, under a minute to go. Miller, Ray. Good combination by Miller. Now he stuns Ray.
I think Ray just wants to come out of this alive and say he didn't get knocked out. He was the first guy that Jarrell Miller did not knock out.
Survival. He's got 40 seconds to stand on his feet, make it out of this 6th and final round.
Sometimes that's bragging rights. Sometimes that's bragging rights, saying, hey, the guy didn't put me on the canvas.
Especially if Jarrell Miller goes on to be, he wants to be heavyweight champion of the world. We'll see if that happens. Obviously, like we said, he has a ways to go. But then it would be pretty cool for Rodrigo Ray to be able to say he was the first guy that he did knock out.
He's got 16 seconds left in round number 6 between Ray and Miller. It's well documented. Miller 9-0 with 1 draw, 9 knockouts in his career. And Rodrigo Ray has taken him a place he's never been to the scorecards.
I think Jarrell Miller's a little, he's a little bit in shock right now. And his corner.
Well, he was certainly tested. We will come back with the official particulars between Miller and Ray. More boxing to come right after this.
Stop living with hair loss, that is. Losing your hair is no fun and no one wants to be bald, but there is hope.
Getting my hair back was the best thing that ever happened to me.
I'm happy with the way I look now.
I'm very excited about my hair.
I feel beautiful.
I love my hair.
Hair Club offers all proven hair loss solutions backed by our commitment to satisfaction guarantee. If you're not 100% satisfied with the solution you choose, Hair Club will apply the purchase price to another proven hair loss solution or transplant more hair at no charge.
It was the best thing I've ever done.
It looks good on me.
Call in the next 5 minutes to get your free brochure at no obligation. It will tell you everything you need to know about your hair loss problem, and it's free if you call now.
I am more pleased than what I had even imagined.
I at least look, I would say, 5 years younger.
I'm 52, and I look better now than I did when I was in my 40s.
I feel great.
And that's not all. The first 100 people who call will also receive $250 off any hair loss solution from Hair Club. Call now.
Welcome back, everyone, to the space at Westbury as we await the decision between Jarrell Miller and Rodrigo Ray. See if Miller improves to 10-0. We've got the official verdict and the particulars, and for that, we will go inside the ring to our ring announcer, David Diamante.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 6 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecards. Kevin Morgan, 60-54. Matt Ruggiero and Waleska Rodan both have a 59-55. All 3 for your winner by unanimous decision. He's still undefeated, Jarrell Big Baby Miller.
So there you have it. Rodrigo Ray falls to 5-8-1. Jarrell Miller improves to 10-0-1. Doesn't get the knockout to add to his resume, but the 26-year-old went somewhere he's never been. 6 rounds against a tough Rodrigo Ray, who falls to 5-8-1 as the action is just heating up here at the space at Westbury in Westbury, Long Island, New York. For Big Baby, he's a big man in the ring. He gets a W. More boxing to come right after this.
Hi, this is Amanda for Westbury Jeep Chrysler Dodge Ram. Here's another amazing Westbury deal of the month. Get the new Ram 1500 at the exclusive VIP price. Our dealership is the home of America's #1 VIP Plus program. Exclusive to Westbury, it comes with every vehicle we sell. It includes lifetime oil and filter changes, lifetime loaner cars, lifetime New York State inspections, 24/7 rescue and towing, plus much more. Remember, at Westbury Jeep Chrysler Dodge Ram, we will satisfy you. After this video, log on to westburydeals.com for more great specials.
Welcome back, everyone, to the space at Westbury in Westbury, Long Island. Special night of championship boxing as we get set for our next bout of the evening. For the official introductions of our next 2 opponents, we'll go inside the ring to our ring announcer, David Diamante.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, 6 rounds of boxing scheduled in the middleweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, he wears black with white trim. He weighed in at an even 158 pounds. His professional record, 2 victories against 7 defeats. He has 1 win coming by way of knockout. From Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Maurice Static Amaro. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner. He wears black with red trim. He weighed in at 157.5 pounds. His professional record, 7 victories, only 1 defeat. He has 1 draw and 3 wins coming by way of knockout. From Garden City Park, New York, ladies and gentlemen, Richie Kid Brazil Nieves.
Went over the rules, give me a good, clean fight, protect yourself at all times, obey my commands at all times. Good luck to both of you. Touch them up.
So it's going to be Neves, and it's going to be Maurice Amaro. Neves 7-1-1 with 3 knockouts in the black and red trunks. Maurice Amaro fighting from Philly, the black and white trunks again. Alongside Nick Garone and Cara Castanova, I'm Rich Quinones. Thanks for joining us this evening for some championship boxing at the Space at Westbury. Wonderful card thus far, and we've seen some very solid action as we continue to roll along.
Interesting fact about Rich Neves is he's managed by Tommy Renaud, the main event. So he spars with Tommy often, and they work out at the same gym.
It's almost like a Kevin Bacon 6 degrees, but only with
Definitely.
2 degrees.
With
Nice
boxers.
shot. Nice
Exactly.
shot by Amaro.
Yeah,
Nice.
Amaro is an interesting story because again, he's another one of those Philly fighters. Even though he's dropped 5 of 6, he had a big win over Adela Smith, which stopped the 3-fight slide in between. Turned pro back in 2009. Yeah, so he fights a lot of guys.
You know, it's pretty interesting. The only loss that Neves has is in a vacant USA New York State light middleweight title fight in his second fight against an undefeated fighter, 10-0.
Yeah.
So, you know, Neves is really one of those guys that has, you know, has done well since then, has, you know, rattled off, you know, 6 straight wins, 7 straight wins rather. And, you know, but he's in against a tough guy, against Amaro. Anytime you go against a Philly fighter or certain parts, you know, certain guys in that area, you know they're going to come to fight. You know they're going to come to do work, and they're not going to come in as an opponent.
Yeah, and he had a good sweeping left that scores. And you mentioned, Nick, Rich has only lost to Frank Galarza, and you know he's one of the top prospects, more veteran in the ring, if you will, in New York, and that was for the USA New York State light middleweight title, coming off a win against Antonio Fernandez back in April. Fernandez, a hard puncher, but was able to dismantle him and get the win. Minute to go in this opening round. Slated for 6 middleweights. Amaro is at times a typical Philly fighter. He will bang, he will brawl, he will try to make the fight in the phone booth. He doesn't mind if he takes some shots, but he'll let his hands go because a lot of times it's really the only way he can make it a fight. There are some fighters who just routinely will make it a backyard brawl. He's one of those fighters.
His manager, Tommy Renaud, said that he's powerful, but it's more so that he has a lot of physicality. He just wears guys down.
Nice body shot by Amaro.
One in the books between Neves and Amaro. Amaro, 32 years of age, slight advantage. Height-wise, 6'1". I believe Richie Neves, 5'9". As we mentioned, that loss to Frank Galarza back in 2013. He turned pro in 2011 with a draw. Nick, you mentioned, reeled off 7 straight before the TKO loss to Galarza. As for the aforementioned Amaro, 2-7, has dropped 5 of 6, but is one of those fighters that you stick him on the card, it's a test, and he's a guy that, you know, will hang in there. And you look at some of his opponents, it's unbelievable. He's only fought guys really with winning records.
Yeah, you know, and he's not afraid to travel. He's only fought 1 time in Philadelphia,
yes.
And he's a Philly boy. So, you know, he's not afraid to travel. He's not afraid to take on the best.
Yep.
And you know what? There's something to be said about that.
Yeah, Lamont Singletary, a good fighter out of Delaware. Dan Bada Bing Biddle, another fighter out of Delaware. Heavy hitter. So 1 in the books. We return to live action to round number 2.
Nice body by Neves.
Yeah, Neves in the black trunks, red trim. Amaro in the black trunks with the white trim. Kara, anything stand out in your mind in round number 1 by either fighter?
I think it's a pretty even fight. It's a good matchup. You know, their experience levels and their technical skills are pretty evenly matched. I'm not thinking that there's going to be a knockout, since Amaro, he lost 7 times and he only was knocked out twice, so he definitely has a tough jaw.
Going against a fighter who's only had 3 knockouts in his career.
Right.
So again, on paper, you like to see this one if it can go the distance and go 6. Give us a little more scouting report on Richie. Fight out of Garden City.
Training at a Westbury Boxing Club, right down the street.
These guys must love it. Oh, you got a fight tonight? Yeah, where you got to go? 5 minutes down the road.
5 minutes down the road.
That's
it's
right.
Beautiful.
Kara mentioned train, does some sparring with the Razor Raynon, who we will see capping off our night in our main event. And a lot is on the line in that fight when it's all said and done, the USBO welterweight title. And I'll tell you, on paper, he's got a pretty tough opponent in Carl the Assassin McNichols. Forget about his record, just 8-5. On paper, it's a great matchup.
You know, many people don't realize, you know, that McNichols was a junior Olympic champion in Texas. I mean, you know, it's those types of things when you see a record, you don't take into account the amateur background or what he's about, you know, so...
he's fought some top tier, you know, fringe contenders too. Also on the card this evening, Amanda Serrano, who, if you don't follow female boxing, and full disclosure, I follow it religiously, and you start to talk about some of the boxers across the country, 2 in the books between Nieves and Amaro. You start to talk about female fighters in this country. I mean, you have an amateur in this backyard in Christina Cruz, and then you have the Ronica Jeffries, the Ella Nunez, and then we'll see Amanda Serrano.
You know your female boxing?
A little bit, not as much as you. All right, 2 in the books. We'll step aside. More boxing to come right after this.
The 2 most precious commodities we have are time and money. Get Benefit Relief is here to save you more on both. Stuck with high deductibles or have no health coverage at all? Wasting time in waiting room? You or your family ever get sick on a weekend? Wouldn't it be nice to have access to a doctor 24 hours a day? Telemedicine is the future of healthcare. Stop losing time at work and days away from school. By calling our toll-free number, you'll speak or video conference directly to a board-certified physician who can diagnose your symptoms, recommend treatment options, and even phone in prescriptions to your local pharmacy, all from the comfort of your own home or office. No additional cost at all other than the low monthly premium of just $12.95 for the entire family. Plus, this voluntary benefit comes with dental, vision, hearing aid, and prescription discount benefits as well. Get Benefit Relief. Call now to speak to one of our helpful agents.
We welcome you back at Inside the Space at Westbury as we get set for round number 3 between Rich Nieves and Maurice Amaro. Richie in the black trunks and the red trim. Amaro from Philadelphia, taller opponent, black trunks, white trim. I don't know how you scored round number 2. Tightly contested 2 rounds in, and I don't really think one fighter has really separated themselves just yet.
That was a nice right handle by Neves.
Well, good combination. Oh, Amaro's in trouble right now. He might be going down. And it's over. It's all over. Oh, no. I thought they stepped in, and they ruled that. Well, they ruled it a knockdown because if the ropes weren't there, that's the only logic. If the ropes weren't there, there's no standing 8.
Neves has to finish him now.
Let me tell you, he wants to finish this, and he is relentless.
Yeah, Amaro's certainly in trouble.
He put all his energy out, though, in that last exchange before the ref called the the count.
Yeah, which was interesting because I thought he was not as close to the ropes, but now he's tasting a win. See if Amaro can fight back. He's got to let his hands go a little bit just to allow this to continue.
Amaro definitely hurt.
Rich Nieves trying to end this one. Oh, good luck, mercy gracious. Oh, Amaro's going down. Another right. They're going to stop this one. They're going to stop it.
Oh, Amaro's fighting to the very end, though. He's fighting as he's going down. He's still punching.
Oh, hold on a second. That's bad refereeing. Because he stepped in, now he waves it off.
Yeah.
Because he stepped in and he allowed the fight to continue. And now he stops it.
Did you see that, though? He was punching as he was going down. I've never seen that.
Well, that's a Philly fighter. That's a Philly fighter. And just to go back to that first knockdown, if the ropes weren't in the way, it would have been a knockdown regardless. But, you know, a little shaky refereeing in that one, especially jumping the gun on that second one.
Right.
You're going to step in, you got to step in. I mean, you really have to sell it. But that's a nice win for Richie Nieves because he realized he had a fighter who's come in dropping 5 out of 6, now 6 of 7. He's been stopped a couple times in his career, smelled blood in the water, and you said, listen, this round he's got to go for it, and he did.
And he finished it, you know, he had him in trouble. A lot of fighters, speaking of, I was, you know, talking to Tommy Renone, and he said that I'll continue that thought after.
Well, as we take a look at the action, and Nick, what do you see here as we...
I mean, right here he hits him with a nice right hand, follows up, and is relentless Nieves. And he actually was held up by the rope right there, takes another big shot.
But see, right there, watch, you have to make that decision. If you're going to go in and call it, or if you're going to step in.
Here's where we have the problem right here. Catches a couple of blows right here. Now listen, Amaro sees that the guy's gonna stop, the referee's gonna stop it, so he keeps coming. And it's almost where he backed him off, and he almost tripped.
Tara, I want to go to your point. You were talking about Richie, and you spoke to Tommy, and we're gonna get to your point. Let's make it official as we go inside the ring to David Diamante.
Ladies and gentlemen, the official time of the stoppage, 1 minute and 45 seconds of round number 3. Your winner by TKO from Garden City Park, New York, Richie Kid Brazil Nieves.
All right, Kara, so I want you to expand a little bit. You were talking to Tommy.
Tommy's an interesting guy to talk to. He's very humble. He said that while Tommy knows when he gets a guy in trouble, but he said that he recognizes that he has a hard time finishing them, which is the opposite with the guy he's managing, Nieves, the one that we just saw knock Amaro out, that he is a finisher, and then when he smells blood, he jumps on a guy. But Tommy's a safety-first fighter, and he doesn't really like to finish guys. He'd rather play it safe.
And we saw one of his young pupils, if you will, finish the fight in brilliant fashion against a tough Philly fighter.
Yeah, they must be good sparring partners for each other. Totally different styles.
No, you're right, and you know what? You can learn a lot. You can certainly
Here's a
learn
different
lot.
angle, guys. He gets caught. You know he's a little hurt. He's trying to tie him up, and he can't. He doesn't have any relief because Nieves is coming after him. Here you have it. He punches him on the break, comes with that overhand right, back with a left hook, and Amaro just basically falls on his face. But Tara, you were right. He's hitting. He's throwing punches.
He's going out swinging how I want to go out one day.
Big win for the kid from Garden City. More boxing to come after this. Welcome back, everyone, to the space at Westbury in Westbury, New York, as we are capping off a great night of boxing with our main event slated for 10 rounds, USBO welterweight title on the line. For the introductions of this championship bout, we'll go inside the ring to David Diamante.
All right, fight fans, we are set to go with the featured bout of the evening. 10 rounds of boxing scheduled for the vacant USBO welterweight championship. And now, ladies and gentlemen, from the four corners of this ring here at the space at Westbury, Long Island, New York, USA, to the four corners of the world, the fight starts now. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, he wears red with black trim. He weighed in at 147 pounds. His professional record, 8 victories against 5 defeats. He has 6 wins coming by way of knockout. From Chicago, Illinois, ladies and gentlemen, Carl, the Assassin McNichols. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner. He wears blue with black trim. He weighed in at a ready 146 1/4 pounds. His professional record, 21 victories, 5 defeats. He has 1 draw and 4 wins coming by way of knockout. From Hicksville, New York, ladies and gentlemen, Tommy the Praiser Renaud.
Tommy, Carl, we're boxing for the USBO welterweight title. Let's have a good, clean fight. Protect yourselves at all times. Obey my commands at all times. Touch them up. Let's get it on.
10 rounds, vacant USBO welterweight championship on the line.
The Razor Renaud, as we mentioned, 21-5-1 with 4 knockouts. Baby blue, black trunks. Carl the Assassin McNichols, 8-5 with 6 knockouts, slated for 10 on the line to vacant USBO welterweight title, and perhaps for the one they dub Razor Crossroads fight in his career. And a little slippery inside the canvas. McNichols trips, stumbles back a little bit.
You know, McNichols, 8-5. People say, oh, you know, how did he get this opportunity? I'll tell you how he got this opportunity, Rich. He fought against his 5 losses, 7-0, 8-0, 7-0, 8-0, 0-0. Those are his losses. He's going in against big competition, so you reward that. You don't not reward that. You reward that. This is a very big test for Tommy Renaud, who's got a 21-5 record, but Tommy Renaud, this is a must-win for Renaud. This is also a must-win for Carl McNichols. McNichols loses this, where do you go from there? Renaud loses this, hey, you got to reevaluate.
Yeah, and Renaud, I think he understands what's at stake. I mean, USBO, you talk about regional belts, more jewelry in the closet, but regional belts, a lot of them like NABA, NABO down the road, they have affiliations to the big boys, the WBO, the WBC, the WBA. So USBO would be a nice little piece of jewelry to stick in his compartment, so to speak. Already fought for the USA New York State welterweight title. Dropped an 8-round decision to Daniel Sustra back in 2009. That was then. This is now. He understands to get his 22nd win of his career. I think he's just going to have to flat out box. I just don't see a knockout coming. I think he's going to have to grind it out against Carl McNichols.
You know, had an opportunity to speak to him quite a bit yesterday at the weigh-in, and you know, one of the things that was really important to him was this is the most important fight of his life as far as he's concerned. This is an opportunity for him to get a belt, get on everybody's radar, and that's what it's about at this point.
Minute to go in round number 1. McNichols holding his own in round number 1. Renaud moving around well.
You know, when I spoke to him, I got an opportunity to really feel that he's matured, not only as a fighter, but as a man, and realizes how important every fight is at this stage in the game.
Well, it's interesting, too, because you got a southpaw and an orthodox fighter. Late stages, this opening round slated for 10 for the vacant USBO welterweight title. Raynon, which is interesting, is coming off a draw against a 1-2 fighter in Juan Carlos Santos, a 4-round fight. He was deducted 2 points in that one. He would have won. Still riding a 5-fight unbeaten streak. Under 5 to go in this opening round.
You can tell that first round they were really feeling each other out.
One in the books. Raynon turned pro back in 2006. Reeled off 11 wins in a row before losing 2 straight. Round number 2 of this 10-round USBO welterweight championship affair between Tommy the Razor Raynon in the blue trunks with the black trim and Carl the Assassin McNichols in the red and black trunks. Rich Quinones is one of my broadcast partner this evening, Nick Garone. Good crowd this evening here in Westbury, Long Island, New York, seeing if we can close out the show in style with a good championship bout.
You know, out of 8 wins, 4 Nicholson, 6 are knockouts, so he's a dangerous guy. He'll start throwing some really big bombs if he need be.
Suffered 4 career losses, 4 career knockout losses in his career. Has dropped his last 2 fights, both by KOs. First to Alan Gauthier in February, then against Cletus Selden, the Hammer, by the way, one of his 11 KO victims. He's dropped 4 of 6 overall. But hey, it's a good step up because, again, some of his opponents' combined record 24-3-2 entering tonight's matchup. Raynon now still kind of a feeling out process in round number 2. Moving around while trying to sneak that jab in.
Oh, nice straight left hand.
Good straight left by Raynon that scores, pushes back McNichol. Midway through this second round, slated for 10. Good counter left by McNichols. Comes in 8-5 with 6 knockouts. A little quiet in round number 2. Chess match early on, see who blinks first. Raynon almost caught Nichols with a counter left. Nichols was sliding by. I mentioned Tommy Raynon, 3rd fight of 2014, 34 years old. Carl the Assassin McNichols, 30 years of age, been in the ring with several world rank contenders. Well, to be honest, this might be it. This might be the level that McNichols goes. I mean, it might be it to fight for a belt of this caliber, and I think for Raynon to win the belt, it's only going to give him an opportunity for bigger fights, bigger purses, bigger venues.
Oh, nice tuck on there by Raynon.
Yeah, Raynon.
Hey, let me tell you something. McNichols was trying to get cute with him at the end of the round. And McNichols got caught with that big punch.
Yeah, but it's boxing. And here's the one thing I'll say. In a championship fight, you have to have your wits about you. You can't get caught up in that nonsense. We saw it earlier this evening. We saw a DQ. Both fighters are going to be warned. And look, tempers will flare. And maybe Carl McNichols understands he's not going to be able to outbox this guy. We'll take a look at some of the action in round number 3.
Here you go. He goes after him, misses with that, and then he's jabbing him at the end of the round. They're both doing some rapid punching, and then at the end of the round, he catches him. And you know what's crazy? I think McNichols got really stung by that.
Yeah, but again, you watch that and you say to yourself, why is Tommy Raynon getting all upset? Now, the one thing is, he's a 27-fight veteran. Let's see if he calms down in this 4th round. Slated for 10. Tough to score. because the action's been very sporadic. Good combination.
Nice combination.
Yeah,
Stalked him down.
McNichols has to defend himself and not worry about the referee or the shots behind the head. That's why you have the ref. Good left by Raynon.
Nice straight left by Raynon.
Not a lot on the punches thus far. I mean, when Tommy does let his hands go and he does slip that jab in the straight right, straight left, at times glancing blows, adding up, see if they score. Not a lot behind those.
Oh, nice body shot with that uppercut by Raynon. And acknowledges the table over here.
I'm a little surprised that McNichols really hasn't engaged at all. I mean, it's almost as though he's fighting this fight as if he's winning it, and he's not letting his hands go at all. Tries to slip in a right jab down low. A lot of jawing between these two. That left pushes back McNichols. That was a liver shot. That's a liver shot. He got caught.
I think he's saying that it was a low blow. I think he's saying it went low.
I thought that shot was a liver shot. McNichols gets up and he beats the count. Under a minute to go. See if Raynon goes for the kill right now. Shakes his head. Sometimes you get hit in the solar plex. It's rare that you see a knockout like that down low in the solar plex liver area. And another body shot by Raynon. Then he caught McNichols again with a left upstairs.
Raynon, he's going after this. I'm telling you right now, Rich, he wants that knockout bad. He's at home, he wants to do this, and he wants to finish strong.
Under 20 to go. McNichols now trying to force the issue a little bit. Crafty move. Crafty move for a 13-fight veteran.
Let me tell you something, like I said earlier, McNichols has 6 knockouts out of his 8 wins. So,
well, it's going to be interesting to see if it was a low blow or it was just a liver shot or a solar plex shot, because you rarely see those types of shots. You rarely see a knockout like that. 3 in the books. So, interesting round number 3 with the knockdown late in round number 3 as we take a look at some of the action, see exactly where this landed. Yeah, that's a clean shot. That's a delayed shot. I mean, it's a liver solar plex. It's one of those, you start to feel it as you back up, and then all of a sudden you realize, ouch.
You hit it on the head.
Yeah, it's
Rich.
a delayed reaction.
You hit it on the head. I really, honestly, I didn't see the punch until the replay.
It shows what kind of power he has too in that in that space. Definitely a delayed reaction, which right now, if you gave a split to the first 2 rounds, you got a 10-8 round in round number 3. So again, this is round number 4, slated for 10 for the vacant USBO welterweight title. You're just joining us moments ago. Tommy Raynon with a solar plex shot, short left jab that floored Carl McNichols. He was able to get up, beat the count, make it back to the stool, but it's a 10-8 round. Right now I have it unofficially on my scorecard, 29-27 in favor of Tommy the Razor Raynon. In the blue trunks, McNichols in the red and black trunks. So maybe Raynon saw something there with some of those body shots.
One thing I can say is Raynon is very, very motivated. And he's one of these guys that, you know, kind of matured a little bit late to realize what it meant to him. And he looks at this USBO title fight as an incredible opportunity, Rich.
He's fighting a smart fight. He's fighting a good fight. Not really doing anything extraordinary, but pretty solid, consistent with that jab, especially in that second and third round.
He got stung right there. I think Renaud got hurt coming in.
$140 to go in round number 4. Both fighters are going to be warned again. Referee just told them keep it clean going forward. They'll touch him up. McNichols reluctant to touch him up. Well, now it's turning into an ugly fight in round number 4 between Renaud and McNichols. Late stages, this 4th round slated for 10 for the USBO welterweight title.
Ooh, nice body shot again by Renaud.
Yeah, and that's how he scored that knockdown late in round number 3, having a good round number 4 as well. McNichols obliges, shakes his head. Aside from that body shot, really hasn't been touched up too much tonight, but it was effective. Scored it a 10-8 round in round number 3. A lot of activity here by Renaud, and if this was a round that McNichols decided to give up this round, he certainly gave it up.
Absolutely. I think this was a round where he needed that break. He needed to recoup and he needed to get his feet under him again.
Closing in on 4 in the books here at the Space at Westbury in Long Island, New York. Championship boxing. So 4 in the books. I gave Renaud in round number 1. Obviously round number 3. A little more active in round number 4. Looking good thus far. All right, we'll step aside. More boxing to come right after this.
An important medical alert for all parents of boys who have taken Risperdal. The medication Risperdal has been linked to breast growth in young men, also known as gynecomastia. The FDA issued several warnings to advise patients that young males grew enlarged breasts after taking Risperdal, and in some cases required corrective surgery to treat the complication. If your son was prescribed Risperdal and has been diagnosed with gynecomastia,
call Parliament Law Firm 1-800-604-1993 for a free legal consultation. 1-800-604-1993.
Let Arizona Designs grow your company. Our creative team can expand your company's image with your unique look. Arizona Designs will apply your logo to custom business cards, banners and signs, billboards, social media, and let's not forget our award-winning vehicle wraps. Market your company 24 hours a day with a look you will be proud of that earns you business. Call 1-800-600-1412 for a free marketing and branding consultation.
Welcome back, everyone. 4 rounds in the books as we get set for round number 5 between Tommy the Razor Renaud and Carl the Assassin McNichols. Slated for 10 rounds for the vacant USBO welterweight title. Renaud scored a knockdown in round number 3, had a good round number 4 ahead on my scorecard. See if McNichols can do something in this one, and is right off the bat tries to go for broke, and they'll get broken up. Both fighters have been warned several times in this contest about the clinching, the grabbing. Well, Nick, if people were expecting some fireworks, it's been more or less just a chess match with Renaud getting the better of McNichols midway through. And he caught him with a right. Ooh, good counter right.
Ooh, and this turns into a wrestling match pretty quickly. But let me tell you, Renaud hit him with a good shot, and I think McNichols tried to tie him up, and at that point, he just dragged him to the ground.
Sometimes your only bet is to make it an ugly, ugly fight, and you just try to take your opponent out of their comfort zone. And again, this is why I mentioned Renaud, the local kid, more seasoned fighter, has to stay within himself, understand what he's fighting for.
You described exactly what we're watching. Somebody that, went in there and is trying to make a fight out of it, and is fighting a guy that just wants to make it an ugly fight, take him out of his game plan.
Might be working but not on the scorecards. Might be getting in the head a little bit, Tommy Rainone, but on the scorecards, good right and left by the Razor. He's winning, and that's all that matters. Slips that right jab in there. McNichols tries to come back with a right of his own, glancing blow. They say styles make fights. Nick, you just wonder when Carl is going to start to just move around and engage a little more. I mean, ultimately, there's a point at the fight where you start to creep into the championship rounds, the 6th, 7th, and 8th round, where you're going to have, if you haven't let your hands go, you're really falling behind on the scorecard.
You know, I think once you get to a point that you're in McNichols, you know you're down in the fight, you know you got tags, you know you've been hurt in the fight. I think what he's hoping for, he could take him deep and come up with something big in the end, because
his best punch
he's not really trying to win rounds here.
Yeah, his best punch was just a counter right that we saw that scored under 10 to go in this 5th round. Midway through this championship affair between Tommy the Razor Rainone and Carl McNichols, you just wonder if Rainone understands that. He smells it, and he goes after McNichols right now, who, again, unofficially on my scorecard, has dropped 4 of the first 5 rounds.
And it could even be a shutout, but I would say definitely 4-1.
Oh, yeah. I think maybe you just give him round number 2, not on merit, but just was a little more active in that round before he got caught in round number 3. A couple cleaner shots, too, late in round number 2. Again, Rainone. Baby blue trunks, black trim. McNichols in the red trunks, black trim.
Very cagey. I love the way Rainone knows how to play it. He's got a lot of ring awareness, and he knows where he is in the ring at all times.
Where he's been successful is after he throws that straight right, he counters and he follows up with that left. Those are body shots. They're downstairs, they're creeping up upstairs, and he's connecting. McNichols, when he gets tied up, you can see he wants to drop his elbows down on Tommy Rainone. He was trying to pull Tyson Fury there.
You know, one of the MOs of Tommy Rainone is that he's hurt a lot of guys in his career, but he hasn't been a very good finisher. He's only had 4 knockouts.
Yes.
He has 4 knockouts. He's a guy that'll hurt you, but he won't go after you and try to end it.
Well, he's a grinder, and he wins on the scorecards, and you see a lot of great fighters that have done that.
Watch it make me look bad right now, Richard.
Sometimes just moving around, slipping and moving. We saw one of them in the audience tonight, the Magic Man, Paulie Malignaggi. Just slipping and sliding and moving, just jabbing and getting the job done. Another left pushes back McNichols. 2 straight rights under a minute to go in this 6th round. Again, slated for 10. Vacant USBO welterweight title. There's another body shot. McNichols is hurt. He's stunned again by that body shot. Only thing he can do is wrap up Rainone. Little veteran tactic right there. Even though he's younger than Rainone, has less ring time.
Notice how Rainone is backing away. As soon as he feels McNichols trying to tie up, he's backing away. He's not giving that opportunity to weather the storm or to get away from him. He's kind of pulling back so he can land punches.
Oh, goodness, there's a straight
shot
left by Rainone. A straight right. The rope saved Carl the Assassin McNichols.
Nice shot by Rainone.
Rainone smelling blood in the water here in round number 6 with his 2nd knockdown of the contest. First a body shot, then an upstairs shot, trying to finish off this one in style. Oh, and a counter right
nice
by
shot
McNichols.
by McNichols. And I think he hurt Rainone.
Caught Rainone with a straight right. Maybe that woke up the Assassin. The right ruling was a knockdown because the ropes would have held him up. It's another 10-8 round as we take a look at some of the heated action in round number 6.
Well, here you go. He hits him with that straight left, puts him on, or staggers him real good. And then he comes back with a straight right against Renaud. So, I mean, at the end of that round was probably the most action we've seen in a few rounds, Rich.
And then we creep into the championship rounds now. 7th round of a slated 10-round USBO welterweight championship affair between Tommy the Razor Renaud, Plainville, New York, 21-5 and 1 with 4 knockouts. Right now looking good against Carl the Assassin McNichols, fighting out of Chicago. Always a tough Chi-town. Good boxers out of Chicago. The Assassin comes in 8-5 with 6 knockouts, has been in the ring, as we mentioned, with several world title contenders. And right now, Renaud trying to slice and dice his way to a championship and chop down the Assassin. Unofficially, I've gave 5 rounds.
Nice right left by Renaud.
To 1 in favor of Renaud.
Ooh!
Well, he got
great
caught
shot.
with another right.
And let me tell you something. He's not going to get credit for that knockdown because of the way he landed it. But McNichols was going down. I really
caught
feel
with
he was
another
going
straight
down.
right. Yep. Renaud again has found a home there with that straight right and that jab. And McNichols is obliging. He's walking right into it too when he slips his guard down.
Renaud has to be very careful here because McNichols, he's going to basically go for broke, and he's going to throw some big bombs to try to save this fight for himself. So Renaud has to be a veteran here. He has to be very calculated, and he has to stay to his game plan, stick to his game plan.
I think that's where the ring generalship and the maturity and the more ring time for Renaud comes into play. Can use it to his advantage. 125 to go in this 7th round. And the problem is McNichols, when he leans in, and you watch when he gets up against the rope sometimes, not only does he lift up and pull out, that leaves himself wide open. And Tommy Renaud has caught him a couple times. I don't know if that's just bad mechanics, bad technique, but he's been caught a couple times with that straight right jab. That's
I think it's a little bit of both, Rich. I think it's bad mechanics and bad technique, but Renaud in this fight, he's the better of the two. He's been proving it every round in and round out, but it's just really hard for McNichols to get anything going except one really good shot here and there.
Exactly, and that's why he's trying to make it an ugly fight. He's throwing one, and then that's it, where Tommy Renaud might throw that jab, might come back with a counter. We saw it right there, then he goes back downstairs. So more frequency of punches, cleaner punches that are landing. Late stages, the 7th round, slated for 10.
Oh,
yeah, you start
little
to see
bolo there. He tried that little bolo.
The problem is there's a hitch in that in that wild shot, because that's more of a desperate shot where you're kind of shooting for the fences, a home run shot, and that's when you really leave yourself exposed. Take a look at some of the action in that 7th round.
Well, here you go. One, he comes around the things with a right short right hook and a straight left hand. McNichols acknowledges that he's been tagged. And here you go. He slips really nice. He slips that punch and hits him right on the button. And you know what? McNichols was heading down if he didn't grab onto Tommy Renaud.
And Renaud very confident right now. He just kind of looked over at some of the photographers, winked and smiled, playing it up to the crowd. He's well ahead on my scorecards. However, you don't want to get sloppy here. You don't want to get caught. McNichols has tagged Tommy Renaud a couple times in this fight as we get set for the 8th round, championship rounds of this 10-round USBO welterweight title affair for the vacant USBO. Tommy the Razor Renaud taking on Carl the Assassin McNichols. Rich Canune is alongside my broadcast partner this evening, Nick Garone. We are at the Space at Westbury in Westbury, Long Island, New York. Great venue, intimate setting, great crowd. They've been in it from the get-go. That's a telltale sign right there that McNichols is tired, because he's just flaring with his punches now. Good body shot by Renaud. He got caught again as he walked through.
Oh, nice little 1-2 by Renone. And even Renone right now is getting, I hope he's not getting too overconfident. He's coming in there with those feints, and he's hitting them with some good stuff. But, you know, with 9 minutes left, a little less than 9 minutes left in this fight, you do not want to do anything that's going to jeopardize. He's basically shutting McNichols out at this point.
Yeah, and he just caught him again with a left and another right, a glancing blow right off the side of his head. And two schools of thought here. He probably understands he's well ahead on the scorecard, but with the same, you know, there's a respect there where you have to respect your opponent who's caught you a couple times, and you want to stay within yourself because he almost walked into an uppercut right there. So this is where the maturity, and this is where just fighting within yourself and doing the things that have made you successful 7+ rounds in this bout. Continue that. He's thinking, Tommy Renone is thinking about leading in again with that body shot, that left. And you see again, McNichols thrust that elbow down, that left elbow down. He's got to watch it. Minute to go in round number 8.
He's really been tagging him with that same combination, that short right hook off of his jab hand and into a straight right left hand.
And you see every time McNichols comes off the ropes, he's almost, that momentum is taking him into the punch.
Exactly, he's bouncing into the straight left.
Good left again by Renone, and then he slips it aside just for good measure. Under 30 to go in this 8th round. Tommy Renone in control of this championship fight. Oh, and he got caught though, and he got caught again by McNichols.
Let me tell you something, he better be real careful right here with 10 seconds left, because Renone definitely got tagged.
He definitely got caught. As soon as I said he was in control, he definitely tasted some leather. McNichols going for broke.
And I think McNichols felt that. He realized he had
He hurt him.
McNichols realized that was a chance, that was a missed chance.
Right, now, does that give McNichols the 8th round? We can argue that the round itself was a toss-up. I still have Tommy Renone well ahead on my scorecards now, but there was something there that McNichols saw and caught him.
Here you go.
Well, he just dropped his guard. He dropped his guard on that punch.
And that's exactly what we were talking about earlier. You do not want to become complacent in the last 2-3 rounds in the championship rounds of this opportunity that he has.
And I think that if there was a moment where Carl McNichols was going to turn the tide of the fight, it was right there. It was right there.
And I think McNichols felt that. He felt like, this is my shot. I got him hurt. But it was at the end of that round. And I really have to give the round to Tommy Renone, because other than that punch, it was very uneventful for McNichols.
Yeah, no, that's a fair point. I mean, look, he's 13 pro fights, 6 knockout power. You love the ratio, but let's be honest. 13 fights, 6 knockouts. 9th round, slated for 10. We are in the heart, the teeth of the championship rounds. You just feel again the vibe, the atmosphere here at the space at Westbury. Crowd is waiting for something scintillating to happen.
I really think you got the Renone fans here in the crowd saying to themselves, you know, listen, let's finish this guy off. Let's finish this guy off. You got McNichols guys, you know, in their corner saying, listen, we got to go for this. We got 6 minutes left. Let's try to win this thing.
Good combination by Tommy Renone. Pushes back McNichols again. McNichols taking a lot of punches this evening. Was knocked down in the 3rd. Looked like a straight left body shot into the solar plexus, and then a clean shot when he was floored in the 6th round. Then he almost returned the favor moments ago in the 8th round when he caught Renone with a sweeping right. Doesn't have to be aesthetically pleasing on the eyes, just has to be efficient. The one thing Tommy Rainone has done very well tonight is, besides getting caught a couple times, he defensively does move around well, covers up, rolls nicely. Even when he goes to the combination, comes back to the jab. Very sound in that regard.
He just drops those hands so low when he comes in. He's got that southpaw stance, but when he throws a punch, he just drops that left hand so low.
Yeah.
It's almost right for the taking for McNichols, but he's just not taking advantage of it.
It's almost like what Norton used to do years ago, just keep that arm all the way down the side of his body. 30 to go in this 9th round, slated for 10.
The only thing is, I think Ken Norton was doing that on purpose. I think Rainone is just really technically dropping that hand and getting and being vulnerable.
Well, he's got to be smart, especially with the 10th and final round coming up. One punch certainly turned the tide of the fight. We thought McNichols had that opportunity in the 8th round. Not so in the 9th round. Well, this is go for broke time. Go for broke time in this championship bout between Tommy the Razor Rainone and Carl the Assassin McNichols. 9 in the books. We'll come back for our 10th and final round. More boxing to come right after this.
US Med has great news for anyone living with diabetes.
If you have Medicare, private insurance, or prescription drug coverage, US Med will ship a new glucose meter right to your home.
And shipping is free.
My new meter uses only a speck of blood, so it's less painful than my previous meter.
If you have Medicare, private insurance, or prescription drug coverage, you're covered with US Med. We're welcoming new patients, even if your current provider can't supply you anymore.
I don't even have to test on my fingers anymore. I can test on my hand or forearms, and it's more accurate than my old meter.
So call US Med today, and you'll have a choice of 2 great meters.
One that actually speaks your results, or a meter so small it fits in the bottle of strips.
Act now, and US Med will include a free prescription discount card. We'll also send you a free diabetes cookbook. This is your opportunity.
So call US Med today.
You'll be glad you did.
Welcome back, everyone, to the 10th and final round. We are at the space at Westbury. Rich Quinones with my broadcast partner, Nick Carone. The 10th round of this championship bout. What's on the line? The USBO welterweight title between Tommy Razor Rainone and Carl the Assassin McNichols. Tommy Rainone looking very good in this one. Again, it hasn't been aesthetically pleasing on the eyes at times, but with that being said,
I think it's safe to say that McNichols needs a knockout to win this fight, and he knows it.
And he's coming out like that.
There, exactly. He's coming out like there for that purpose, saying, hey, I got to take this guy out to win this fight.
And McNichols was floored in the 3rd, floored again in the 6th, and sandwiched in between. Really didn't win any rounds. Good right by Rainone, another combination, another right that scores. Good left, straight left, that pushes McNichols back once more. It's been the theme of the night with that jab and those straights.
Rainone, very wild, going right through, almost through the ropes, trying to tag McNichols. Rainone has to be, it's just, he has to be careful here because McNichols' intentions right here.
He's trying to end it. He knows he needs a knockout to win the fight. But you also know that Tommy Rainone is one of those fighters where he's just not going to dance around for the 10th round. He's going to come out and he's going to fight, and he's going to give everyone their money's worth. That's why he's a good draw on local cards, and he has an opportunity to walk away with a belt. See, and you'll see a lot of times the feet get tangled like that. Those jabs pushing back McNichols, but sometimes orthodox southpaw fighters step on each other's foot. McNichols again, sneaking that left. Very crafty with that left. Under a minute to go in this 10th and final round.
You know, I think he hurt him to the body, came back to the head, and he almost had McNichols, McNichols actually leaned on the ropes there for a second. He doesn't like those body shots, McNichols.
Well, the crowd's starting to feel it for the local product. Tommy Rainone from Hicksville, New York, trying to close it out here at the space at Westbury in Long Island. Under 30 to go in this 10th and final round between Rainone and McNichols. Final 10, see if they close with a flurry here.
Oh,
McNichols
on the break.
Catches
McNichols tries
Rainone,
to catch him.
and it will go to the scorecards. A spirited title affair between Tommy the Razor Rainone and Carl the Assassin McNichols. It'll go to the scorecards. I think it's academic, but it will certainly go to the scorecards. And we'll have the decision of this championship affair between Rainone and McNichols when we come back. Close out a great night of boxing here at the Space at Westbury in Long Island, New York.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 10 rounds of action here at the Space at the Westbury, we go to the judges' scorecards. Kevin Morgan and Matt Rogero, 99-89. Don Trella, 97-91. All three for your winner by unanimous decision. And the new USBO welterweight champion from Hicksville, New York, Tommy the Razor Rainone.
So Tommy Rainone wins the USBO welterweight belt in emphatic fashion, dominating Carl the Assassin McNichols. As we saw, he scored the knockdown in round 3 and then again in 6, but he wins the USBO welterweight title over gritty Carl the Assassin McNichols. We saw Jarrell Big Baby Miller didn't get the knockout tonight, but he gets his 10th win of his career. And how about Amanda Serrano making quick work of Carla Torres with the stoppage in round number 1 as she just continues to make her assault in female boxing. Of course, she's the reigning WBO World Female Lightweight Champ. It was a great night of boxing. Special thanks to my broadcast partners this evening, Nick Garone and, of course, Cara Castronova and the good folks here at the Space at Westbury in Westbury, Long Island, New York. Hope you enjoyed a night of championship boxing. I know we have. As always, we hope to see you soon next time ringside. Thanks for joining us this evening, everyone. Have a good night.